I just want to welcome everyone. We're on the trolley tour around the city of Boston, where we're going to be visiting businesses in different neighborhoods, a total of 12, to be able to give out awards and Business of the Year and Volunteer of the Year for our Main Streets program. In the past, we've done it in one location. This year, we're taking out to the neighborhoods. We're excited about it. Small businesses are such a big part of our city, a big part of our economy, a big part of our workforce base here, and a big part of our neighborhood. So hope you enjoy what you see here, and make sure you go out and support our small businesses.
We have some other colleagues here from neighboring districts. Luis Cotto, who's the director of Eggleston Square Main Street. Luis. We also have Ginger Brown, who's the director from JP Center South Main Street. I want to recognize Gretchen Van Ness, who's on our board of directors, a former president. And since I'm here, Bob Field, who's our volunteer of the year also. So Main Street we're kind of community. As I was kind of passing some flyers out today, I was hearing some stories about Alex's Chimneys, about Mr. V's, about some other businesses here, and how people connected to make these neighborhoods and these businesses great. We're organizations that work in the community with partners. We have the City of Boston as a partner, we have business owners as partners, we have great volunteers, and we can't do work like this without the partners. Also, a lot of the money that we receive is Housing and Urban Development, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Community Block Grant money, which we receive. These are federal dollars that could flow to the City of Boston, and they're really important dollars that are at risk at being cut at the federal level. So you all know that. So I guess, I just want to be kind of really quick. Thanks for coming here. I want to introduce the mayor. Mayor, thanks for coming. It's always great to have you in the neighborhood. And actually next week on Friday at 9:30, you'll be at Mozart Park too, right? Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Gerald. I'm going to give this to Alex to do a little translation for us.
So, buenas tardes a todos, gracias por venir el día de hoy a celebrar lo que es el éxito de todas nuestras pequeñas negocios el día de hoy. Gerald es el director de Main Street de aquí de High Jackson. Luis Cotto, Luis, levanta la mano. ¿Dónde está Luis? Luis es el director de Eggleston Square. El día de hoy estamos celebrando historia y también lo que es el progreso de nuestras pequeñas empresas. Entonces para mí es un orgullo, soy la representante de Jamaica Plain y también de la comunidad latina de nuestro alcalde. Y ahora un fuerte aplauso para recibir a nuestro alcalde, Martin J. Walsh.
All right. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Let me just first by thanking the Main Streets, High Jackson Square, Eggleston Square, and JP Center South. Thank you, all the Main Street districts, for the work you do all the time, every day, in our great neighborhoods. All right. And what today is all about, these are the award ceremonies that normally we have in a hall. And we felt that it was important to bring them out to the community so that we can express to the community just how important our small businesses are in our neighborhoods. That they're the lifeline in many of our communities. The owners of these businesses often are individuals. The majority are foreign born, which proves that we truly are a city of immigrants, and supporting our immigrants and making sure we stand up for our immigrants, but also moving our agendas forward.
Primeramente todas estas celebraciones se hacen normalmente en el City Hall, pero este año el alcalde tomó una rueda diferente en la cual quería venir acá a lo que es los negocios, para traerla acá para que conozca todo lo que es nuestra comunidad y principalmente lo que es el esfuerzo, porque la mayoría de las personas que son dueños de esos pequeños negocios son personas que han nacido en otro país, y para él es un orgullo estar acá y representar y también apoyar lo que es la población inmigrante, especialmente aquí en la ciudad de Boston.
So the first group of awards goes to Hyde Jackson Square Main Street. Alex, right here, the restaurant, Jimmy Restaurant, that we're here. Serving mostly Dominican food for 20 years. Congratulations. And this business has been a strong anchor in this community. And I think that that's what's important. I know when this Main Street started, this business is I think probably one of the founding businesses. And I remember talking about this neighborhood 30 years ago, when the mayor's, 1983, the mayor's race, 1993, the mayor's race, Jim Brett versus Tom Menino. Tom Menino's headquarters is down at Payless Shoes, and Jim Brett's was up by the restaurant. And I remember working in that office and thinking, wow, what a difference a community makes when the community gets together to strengthen its business community, but also strengthen its neighbors. So I want to congratulate you on receiving the Small Business of the Year Award from the Hyde Jackson Square Main Street Small Business of the Year Award. And before we're gonna bring up, we'll take a picture after. We want to bring up Bob Fields, who's getting the Volunteer of the Year Award. Where's Bob? Get in here, Bob. I'm gonna read what it says, but I'm gonna talk about Bob in a second. Many hours of volunteering on a project, a handyman, served on the Hyde Jackson Square Main Street Promotions and Design Committee, helped organize a spring sidewalk sale, designed eye-catching neighborhood advertisements at Logan Airport. Basically, what this guy has done, he has been a community activist, somebody who cares about his neighborhood, somebody who gives back to his neighborhood. And what makes our neighborhood special is not the big companies and the famous people. It's the people that do all the work on the ground, the volunteer people that do all the work on the ground, and businesses that put their life into it. So congratulations, Bob, to you as well. And we're also joined by Felix Arroyo. I know you know Felix. And you know Tony Barros. All right, and the next group of awards is for the JP Center South Main Street. The Business of the Year, Fire Opal. Is Steve, you here? Come here. Beautiful. This business brings homemade apparel, jewelries, and from artists around the country. It organized Shop for a Cause, raised thousands of dollars in 2016 for great causes. So not only is this company a great company for the neighborhood, but it's also philanthropic. And we saw that yesterday when we were over in Chinatown of one of the businesses we talked about how much money they gave back to the community. So these are the companies that sponsor the Little Leagues and the soccer leagues and all of that. So don't forget them. And the Volunteer of the Year award for JP Center South Main is Brad Brown, owner of Blue Frog Bakery. Thank you, Brad. Sir. Brad's been involved in the Main Street since 2004 on the board. Grew the first Thursdays event in JP, helped JP Center South through economic recovery, and obviously is a volunteer and a business owner. And thank you very much for your service as well to the city and to particularly JP. And he has 1 year. I'm going to have my, Councilor O'Malley speaking on in a second, but congratulations on your anniversary. What I'd like to do now is pass this over to City Councilor Matt O'Malley to say a few words.
Thank you, Your Honor. Keep it going for our mayor, Marty Walsh, everybody. No stranger to our neighborhood, no stranger to our business districts. And Mayor, it is so great to be with you and all of our friends in the heart of Boston's Latin Quarter. This was something that was really led and made official. The council put forth the resolution. The mayor supported as well. I just wanted to say congratulations to all the award winners. Congratulations to our great Main Streets board. I know you all know this, but it bears repeating. 63 cents of every dollar that's spent in a locally owned and operated business goes back into the community through payroll taxes, through sponsorships, through giving back. You go to a big box store, the number's half of that. So always shop local, dine local, support these great stores. You're really continuing to move Boston forward in a great, great way. So congratulations, everybody. Felicidades, everybody. And today, you know, the mayor put out this great, I happened to see, before I left work today, the BPDA did this great mapping about the number of immigrants that live in every neighborhood, the number one. So it's no surprise that in JP, it's Dominican Republic. But I would put an asterisk there. It's not just Dominican Republic, it's Boni. So que viva los Bonilejos!
I want to welcome everybody to beautiful downtown Dudley Square. You know, as I walk through Dudley, people always say to me, oh, thank you for making Dudley better. But it takes more than me. It takes a team and partnerships to make all these things happen. It's not just one person. And so, I wrote this down, but I can't read it. So, however, no one person makes big changes happen on their own. It takes partnerships and a team to work. It takes partnerships and a team. The work that has been done in Dudley is due to residents, businesses, financial institutions, and government working together in a common vision to bring better goods and services to Dudley, create jobs, restore our historic and cultural assets, and bring legal 24-hour life back to the streets. But sometimes we forget to just stop and say thank you to all of those folks that make things happen, which is why we're here today. Whether it's my board of directors and volunteers on Main Streets, and I have a bunch of the board here. Can they raise their hands? Solomon and some of the board members who attend meetings and help with events, and or businesses who put their hard work and dreams into the district, or the property owners who risk the funds that get the job done. We want to say thank you. Our biggest booster in Dudley has been the city of Boston. Both the past administration and this current administration have supported Dudley after so many years of benign neglect. They supported existing businesses and landlords with storefront improvements, technical assistance, and development capital. They've acted as the catalyst for prospective entrepreneurs, inventors, and visionaries through vehicles like the Roxbury Innovation Center and the Commonwealth Kitchen. They're helping to develop what is new and next and place the next spoke in our economic engine. So I'm delighted to welcome our biggest Dudley and Boston business booster, Mayor Marty Walsh.
Thank you, Joyce. And I want to thank Joyce and the board for everything that they're doing here in Dudley. It's incredible when you're coming around and you're seeing the businesses really stepping up to the plate. And they have for a long time, but in particular lately, and really pushing the agenda forward in Dudley. So congratulations to you and the board. This is a special neighborhood. This is a neighborhood that the city has made some investments, but it's not just about the city, it's about the community and the people in this neighborhood. Hard-working people. Anytime that I've come by Dudley and walked around and talked to people, this is one of the busiest stations that you have. People coming from work and to work, and they use this station a lot. It's a hub, it's a center. So it's important for us that we continue to make investments in this neighborhood. But it's also important for us as we go around. We're doing this something a little different today. We're doing awards, the Volunteer of the Award, the Business Award. We're coming out to the neighborhood. Because before in the past we'd go to a hall and people would bring their supporters, and they'd be there, and we'd talk about the importance of business. And today, what's a little different is we're doing it on the neighborhood, so people are walking around and saying, what's going on over there? And talking about why it's important to support your local business, why it's important to go and buy some clothes here at Final Touch, why it's important to go get a cup of coffee over here, why is it important to utilize all the businesses in the neighborhood, because those are the catalysts of a community. So I want to thank all the businesses for being here as well. And I get the honor of introducing the first, we're going to do Business of the Year first. No stranger to a lot of us, and certainly no stranger to me. I didn't meet her as a businesswoman. I met her as a social service provider, and I had a chance to get to know Catherine in that way. And then one day when I was walking over here, I stumbled into the store, and I was talking to her son and her husband, and we were talking about the business and a mom, and like, oh my God, I didn't realize that. And I just want to Final Touch Boutique is getting the Business of the Year award. Catherine Hadaway is going to receive it. It's in the Ballin building. It's committed to community. They also are committed to the Boston Central Elders Program, which is very important for our neighborhood. And I want to congratulate Final Touch on being here. If you haven't been inside the store, this is as nice as any Nordstrom's or Macy's or any store you go down. Newberry, it's better than those. You got a Newberry, you walk in, this store is better than those. So make sure you shop something here before, maybe not today, but next couple of days. And I have a plaque somewhere for you. Oh. Catherine wants to say a few words. So hold on, here she is.
So I do want to say a few words. I'm going to pass this on for 1 minute here to my family. So I want to just say thank you to the community for all your support. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I would like to say thank you to the community as a whole. This store means a lot to me because I grew up in Roxbury. I used to work here in Roxbury. When I was 16 years old, I worked in Chemcaps. I don't know how many people remember that, or the Davises, but I did work there, and I lived in Roxbury. And so to be able to come back, me, a child from Roxbury, and help redevelop Dudley Square means a lot to me, and it means a lot to my family, who I could not do this without my family. And so I'd like to thank my husband and Danny Hardaway and Haris. Most people know them better than they know me. They come in, they don't want me, they want them, which is a good thing. That says a lot about it. But I also would like to give a large thank you to the mayor. I've known him since he was a rep when he first came in. I remember walking into his office and thinking, gee, he looks like my son. He could be my son. At that point, I think you were much younger.
I was.
All these jobs age you, you know. So, but in any event, this is a mayor that I can support and that I really have a fond appreciation for. And I want to thank you for all your support, Mayor Walsh. I also want to thank the D&D. I'm not going to name names because if I do that, I'm going to miss somebody. But everybody in D&D, I love you. Thank you for all your support. You know, the signs we have and, you know, are supported by the city. And so I thank you for everything you've done for us. I want to thank our buyers, our customers that come in. And I want to give a special thanks to Steve Rumpler is not here, but I want Roger Mann. I don't think he's here today, but Roger Mann was very instrumental in helping us here, as well as the Main Streets Board, and James Kennedy, who I don't think is here, but they really worked on behalf of the city, Mr. Mayor, to really be friendly with the businesses and help us to get established here. So did I forget anybody? I want to thank Joyce Stanley for her leadership and working with us. And I also want to thank Joyce Faribault-Bowley, who I don't think she's here today. But when we first came here, she also came over and she gave us her support. So thank you to everyone, and thank you all for coming today. This is what a wonderful award to receive. It says a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Catherine gave a shout out to a lot of city departments here, and there's a ton here. Business development's here, the fire department, Joe Finn, the commissioner of the fire department's here, Tommy Chang, the superintendent of our schools is here, Jerome Smith, chief of civic engagement is here. We have Felix Arroyo, Health and Human Services, Carolyn Crocker, small businesses, Joshua McFadden, Niall Murphy, Renee Fielding, and so on and so on, and Tommy Madonna. So I'm not going to go into everyone. I shouldn't have done that.
Say thank you, Josh. I apologize. Right there in front of my face. But
thank you, Josh, for doing a great job. Is he really doing all right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure, you know.
Actually, you can move in now.
Yeah, he's a good man.
I think you should keep it.
He's a good man. And now I get the honor of introducing the Volunteer of the Year award. And you know, when you have organizations like a Main Streets or anything, what makes the strength of those organizations is the volunteers. Because the organizations don't have money to pay for board members and don't have money to pay for a lot of staff, and particularly when you talk about Main Streets. And so the volunteers are key to the organization like a Main Street. And this Main Street is one that's up and coming. A lot of work has been done, a lot of great things have happened, and there's a lot more great work to happen. We're going to continue to help. And Jeannie Richardson is the Volunteer of the Year. Just to read a couple things about her. She's chair of both the Promotions and the Economic Restructuring Committee. And that's an important committee, because promotions is about how do you get people to the square? How do you get people to the business? How do you get people down the street? So thank you for that. And this is her 20th year. Her committee has led a festive 20th anniversary celebration, successful women-owned businesses, networking session, and a financial fair. And if you look at the businesses in our country, and particularly in Boston, the small startups, majority led by women. So I want to thank Jeannie. Congratulations on being recognized as Volunteer of the Year. I have a plaque for you somewhere.
Go, Jean.
And I don't know if Jean wants to talk, but I'm going to see if she wants to say a couple words. And also a proud retiree of the Boston Water and Sewer. So.
Well, thank you everyone for this. I'm grateful to receive this award. I love Dudley Square, Main Streets. I love Dudley Square. I am a business owner. I am the owner of Blue Dynasty Entertainment and Travel. It's a travel agency. And what I can say is I can bring the skills that I have as a business person, both from Boston Water and Sewer Commission and as a business owner myself, to the board for Dudley Square. I love promoting the businesses. It's important for everyone to come to Dudley. Share in the prosperity. This is a gem of a neighborhood, and I'm very proud of it. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm looking forward to you coming back again. We are going to have a food tour coming up in July, August, and September. Once a month, you'll be able to come and have a tour of the Dudley Square area, as well as sample some of the food from the restaurants that are here. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all again, and thank you again for this award. I'm very proud and happy to receive it.
I think we're done here. So far, we're going to sit and mingle, and make sure before you go home, go shopping somewhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming out to support this wonderful moment here at Brothers Supermarket. We're celebrating local businesses and volunteers in the community. We would also like to welcome our neighbors from two other Main Street programs, Bowden Geneva and Greater Grove Hall. Their executive directors, Ann Guyen and Ed Gaskin, as well as their board members and businesses, and all the volunteers who make these programs the exciting affirmation of neighborhood retail that we see all over Boston. Last but not least, we want to thank all of the staff from the city, who, of Boston, from Boston Main Streets, Department of Economic Development, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, the police, Public Works, all of them who put this event on so quickly. We really, really love you for doing that. And now I want to give a special welcome to Mayor Walsh, who will be presenting the awards. On behalf of all of you, I want to thank him for coming out to celebrate with the community of small businesses and volunteers who give us so much to celebrate today. Mayor Walsh.
Thank you, Bob. Let me just, first of all, thank Bob. I've known Bob for 32 years, and I know him to be an activist, involved in politics, involved in the community, a civic-minded person. He's done some incredible stuff, and I want to just thank Bob for being able to watch him and be friendly with him consistently for 30 years. So thank you. Thank you very much, Bob. I also want to thank all the other Main Streets for being here today. Yeah, we can clap for Bob. I want to thank all the other Main Street districts that are here today as well. You know, this is something different that we're doing. We're bringing out Main Streets out to the community, the award ceremony to understand and recognize the important contributions that people have made and Main Streets have made to our neighborhoods. And I know that we're in Uplands Corner, and as I said during the campaign when I was running for mayor, I said this is a special place for me. And John Barros goes, well, I grew up there. I go, me too. So we both took ownership of Uplands Corner. But I remember Uplands Corner when I was a kid, how important this neighborhood was as an economic engine for our family, a place to go shopping. My mother spent a lot of time shopping in Kresge's, which is right here where CVS is. Spent a lot of time shopping in Rick's, which is on the corner, Payless Shoes is, and Cummings, which is down the street here, right 2 stores down. As a matter of fact, I was in Cummings the day that, if you remember 1980, when the Marines went in to save the Iranians with the hostages in Iran that time, and they crashed in the desert. I was sitting in Cummings that day, I'll never forget it. And so we spent a lot of time in Uplands Corner. I grew up on Taft Street, which is 3 blocks that way, and my cousins grew up on Virginia Street, which is right there where John Barros lives. So this neighborhood means an awful lot to me, just as a neighborhood. And it's great to see this neighborhood being revitalized and people coming back and shopping here again with this store here, Brothers, something that was needed probably back 40 years ago when I used to come to Uplands Corner. We needed a supermarket, and Brothers is here today. So I want to congratulate. So let me just go into the award ceremonies. So my Business of the Year award goes to Brothers Supermarket, the Fernandez family, family-owned local supermarket, expanding their business to a wider range of products for the community, encourage local residents to shop here, also supporting local events. This family is in a lot of different neighborhoods in the city of Boston. They're providing good food in the neighborhood, and I want to thank them, and they get their recognition for Business of the Year this year. We're going to take all the pictures afterwards. We're going to take a whole bunch of, because we got a whole bunch. We'll take one right now, though. Hold on. Beautiful, thanks. Oh, one more. But we're going to ask the boards in a little bit to take a picture with everybody. This for you. Take a picture so we can get all the boards. Uplands Corner board, raise your hands. Main Street board. Thank you, Uplands Corner Main Street board, for the great work you do. And I also want to thank the Boston Police Department as we're working to make sure that some of the safety issues that we have in Uplands Corner are being taken care of. So I want to thank you for fighting for the businesses, and thank the Boston Police that are here with us for the work they do. The Volunteer of the Year award is Leah Whiteside. Leah Whiteside, a member of the Economic Restructuring Committee of the board, a treasurer, dedicated volunteer, project manager in the real estate department over Dorchester Bay EDC. You know what Dorchester Bay EDC does for the neighborhoods. And I said this every stop along the way. The importance of a board like this is the volunteer base. There's not a lot of money to be paid to an organization like Main Streets. We're trying to up their money, but the board does a lot of the work, and the board is really the driving force behind an active Main Street. And this Uplands Corner is a very active Main Street. Leah is one of the leaders on it. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, let's try and figure this out. Uplands Corner people, come on in. We'll take a quick picture somehow. And then we'll bring it to the next group. Sorry. That's all right. That's it. Come on, guys. Get it. Come on. All right, here we go. Uplands Corner board members.
Okay, which way is Johnny? Okay, here we go. Perfect. We'll hold up your plaque. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you. Come on in. Karen, get it in. Awesome. Beautiful. Ready? Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. The next Main Streets that we're recognized as Bowdoin Geneva Main Streets. We can clap. There's a new business up, well, not new anymore really. I opened it a long time ago, one on Blue Hill Ave. But Polo Centro is the business of the year. That business is an incredible business up on Bow in Geneva. I would suggest you go up there. We were there for the opening. The chicken is unbelievable. I'm not sure. I thought the fried chicken was the best until I ate the rotisserie chicken, and then I was torn on what to do. Then I ate the patties, and I didn't know which way to go. But I want to thank Polo Centro and Miguel. I think Miguel, if you come on up here for the, so we can give you the recognition. And Miguel and his family is very involved, and his partner. I want to thank them for doing an incredible job. Let me just say one thing about Polo Centro. When we took over the licensing board in 2014 in the city of Boston, we took over the licensing board to try and create opportunities in neighborhoods for beer and wine. You have a lot of businesses in our city. We all know the big steakhouses downtown, the waterfront, all the fancy restaurants and all that stuff, and they're great, but we want to make sure that we can spread that around, and we want to make sure that Bow in Geneva, Dudley Square, Mattapan Square, and places that historically people haven't invested in businesses, invest. The Polo Centro, I'm proud to say, I think it's the first beer and wine license that I've been able to work through the licensing board to give to Bow in Geneva. As a state representative, I represent a part of that neighborhood. I went up to the Civic Association meetings. I know the people of Bow in Geneva work hard every single day. I know they're great family people, and it's an honor to be able to say these guys here tonight get recognition, but they started a trend in Bow in Geneva that's going to continue to help change that neighborhood, so thank you. And now the Volunteer of the Year Award. I'm going to completely mess your name up, and I'm sorry. Yoralba. Where's Yoralba? Yoralba. Oh, what am I saying? Yoralba. Clerk of the Main Streets. Volunteer. I'm reading this thing. I don't have to read it. Business owner. Active in the community. Involved. Fighting for the neighborhood. Involved in the schools. Involved in helping the kids. So many different ways of helping people. And I want to congratulate you on the recognition. And I also want to give a shout out to Kevin Swan, who's a Boston police officer, who has done incredible work of walking Bow in Geneva over the last couple of years, but I know that he's respected and loved up there. Kevin, thank you for your support, what you did up there. I know you get a new assignment, but thank you. Let's get a picture. Come on in. Come on in.
I need Kevin. Kevin.
Oh, any other board members here?
Go to Geneva, board member.
All right, sorry.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
Like old
all right.
times to see you, brother. I know.
And oh, should I?
God bless you.
Anwin, thank you very much, the director at Bow in Geneva as well. Now Greater Grove Hall, Ed Gaskin's here. Ed, how are you, buddy? Ed's one of the first people I met when I was mayor of the city of Boston. He's very shy, doesn't talk about much. He pulled me aside and started talking about new roads and streets and sidewalks. He was absolutely right, and I think we've done some of it. We're going to do some more. But again, Grove Hall, Main Street has done an incredible job, not just running parties for kids and stuff at Christmas time, but being active. A lot of new awnings, a lot of new businesses, a lot of businesses coming into the neighborhood, a lot of interest in the community, and some of the businesses that were there, some didn't succeed. But I want to give a shout out to those businesses because they were young kids trying to create a sneaker shop and a hat shop, and I know it didn't take on the first time, but they were young, they were aggressive, and they weren't afraid to try. So I want to thank them for that. The business of the year is Food for the Soul. Brother Donnell, if you're here, hires young people from the community, equips them with culinary skills. He has a mentoring program, 15 and 16-year-olds, and also, most importantly, it's about re-entry too, and giving kids a chance if they make a mistake. And sometimes we all make a mistake and we need help. So, congratulations. And then the Volunteer of the Year is Vanita Lawrence, who works as a Main Street organizational committee. She grew up in Grove Hall, which I think is even more important because understands the importance of seeing cycles. And back in the day, people talked about the booming Grove Hall business community, and now it's coming back to that booming community. So I want to thank you. A longtime patient advocate, serves on tons of several boards, including the Foundation for Green Future. And again, as I said earlier, these businesses and these main streets don't last if you don't have strong volunteers. And again, to all the volunteers here and all the community, thank you, and make sure you continue to shop on our Main Street districts. Now we're gonna, anyone, come on, babe, we'll get a picture.
Any other board members?
Any other board members, come on up here. Next to me, yeah. I'm gonna give the microphone back to Bob. He's gonna give us a speech in a minute.
Great. Okay, here we go. Big smiles. Beautiful. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thanks again. See ya.
Isn't this a great way to celebrate the Main Street program and all the stuff that's been done? You know, let's party.
Dorchester. It's a beautiful day for this event, the Mayor on Main. My name is Matt Frank. I'm the Executive Director of the Fields Corner Main Street program, and I'm just here to welcome you today. I wanted to recognize, before we got started, some of my colleagues who are here from other districts, including districts that are here with us celebrating. We have Jen from Greater Ashmont. I know Nicole. Nicole's right over here from Four Corners. And both of those districts are being recognized today. We also have Courtney. Where's Courtney? From right over here. And Danielle right over here. I almost missed you, Danielle. So basically, on behalf of all the Main Street directors and all the small businesses and all the volunteers across Boston, we want to thank the mayor for his support of small businesses and all the people that work for those small businesses and shop there. The small businesses are the lifeblood of our communities, and the fact that he took 3 days out of his schedule to make sure he came to the communities instead of having us come to him, I think that shows tremendous support. So I just want a round of applause for the mayor before he comes up. And with that, I'm going to hand the microphone over to the esteemed mayor.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Well, it's great to be here in Fields Corner, and I want to thank, this is something we're doing a little different. We're going around the neighborhoods, and we're bringing the Main Street award ceremonies, rather than having it at a hall, we're bringing it to the community so people drive by and say, what's going on there, and really promote the fact of using our Main Street, shopping on our Main Street districts. And I want to thank Fields Corner Main Streets. This is an important Main Street for our city. I was part of the original application when they went for it. Both in St. Mark's didn't get it, and Fields Corner did. And then St. Mark's ultimately got it eventually. But watching this neighborhood really transform from the Dorchester house doing the expansion where they built out to Foho, which was here and then across the street, and they built a beautiful building, and working with all the businesses. How are you? Bike lanes. We're working on it. Be careful. Don't crash. And a lot of the different storefronts up and down the avenue, particularly in Fields Corner. I want to thank you. In saying that, let me just do a little bit of business, because I know that many of you, most of you Dorchester residents. So regarding the fire yesterday, I want to thank Commissioner Finn and Richie Paris for the hard work they did. Dorchester Avenue, I don't know is it open yet, Captain? It's going to be open later on, maybe? It's going to be open.
Saturday.
Huh?
They're doing drone inspection Saturday, so after that.
It's going to be closed till Saturday?
That's what they told me today.
Okay. Well, we'll check that one out. Yeah, we'll check it out. But anyway, thank you for your patience. Actually, this traffic's not as bad as usually is. But I want to just thank everyone. You know, it was a fire up there. Thank God no one was living there, but people were potentially displaced. Many people had bought in apartments there, or bought in condos there, rented apartments. So the total was down there was 83 total units, 51 affordable rentals, 4 affordable condos, 28 market rate condos. So hopefully we're going to see and get those back on the market as quickly as possible and working with the community. So again, thank you for your help. We're giving out awards, and what we're going to do is I want to ask, the first one is the business award recipient for Phil's Corner Main Streets and Foley Vietnamese Cuisine. I want to ask the owners to come on up here. This family truly has been a community partner, has been here for generations, but has been in this particular location and have done so much good in our community. So I want to thank them again, in particular the Vietnamese community, for the great work that they've done in Dorchester and throughout the city of Boston. And we're going to bring up the volunteer of the year, and then we're going to take a picture, and we're going to ask all the board members from Phil's Corner to come on up. Sierra Roxbury. Come on, Sierra, get up here. Architect of the 2017 Dorchester Day Float, highlighting the Phil's Corner local business community. And I have to say, the parade this year for Dot Day was the biggest crowd on the sidelines watching it in at least 20 years. So it was great to see you highlighting Phil's Corner down Dorchester Avenue. Also, adult leader with the Girl Scouts troop at the Mather School, the first public school in the country, and founder of the Clean Up Boston group. And I want to thank you, Sierra, for your great work, because as I mentioned earlier today, organizations are only as good as the people in those organizations, and Main Street's really, the lifeblood of Main Street's is having a good, strong volunteer base. So thank you for all the work you do, and thank you for being part of this great program.
Thank you.
Hold on now. Now I'm going to ask any Phil's Corner Main Street people, come on up, board members, come on up so we get a photo. Hold on, we got the board president coming.
We can jump right up. Everybody else this way? Thank you.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next Main Street, we got the Greater Ashmont Main Streets. I want to thank Jen, the director, for her great work. I want to thank, and Jen's really done an incredible job up there, you know, taking over Main Streets. Be careful, guys, on the bike, you're going to get killed. Wheelies down there, we'll have them chase them, count, we'll have them chase them down. Taking, which was, actually it was Ashmont Main Street, and then they changed it. Oh, St. Mark's, yeah, okay. Yeah, Smams. And they changed it to Greater Ashmont, and just the outreach that they've done is incredible. And unfortunately, the fire that happened last night was a big part of revitalization of that neighborhood, but that neighborhood's not going to back away. It's going to stay strong. It's going to be rebuilt, and I know that the community is going to be really, really pushing there. I want to thank Vicki as well. Vicki, on the board? Are you on the board?
Different boards.
All right. All right. Business award recipient, J&J Yard Work. Where's Jay? Where's Joshua? Joshua got some special guests here. He brought his own little cheering section. Thank you. Let me just quickly give a little explanation about Joshua. Grew from a teenage enterprise into a strong, vibrant business. Joshua's applying for what he learned at Babson College in his business, so he's able to take hard work and determination and what he's learned in the classroom. Significant charitable and volunteer commitments with Main Street, very active in the Main Street program, part of the Business and Support Recruitment Committee, and helps organize young entrepreneurs. So I want to thank you, Joshua, for the great work you do, not just as a landscape and what you do with your company, but all the other stuff too. So thank you. Yes, and I didn't read my notes, okay? And the Volunteer of the Year award goes to Vicky Kaiser Rugo. In addition to Main Street, Vicky works for the Dorchester Historical Society and Ashmont Hill Civic Association, an Ashmont Farmers Market volunteer, organized and balanced approach to development and historic preservation. Let me just say one thing about Vicky. I met Vicky probably almost 20 years ago when I walked into my first Ashmont Hill Civic Association. When I walked in there, people didn't know me up there in Ashmont Hill, and Vicky was just that consistent, steady, kind, nice person. And over that time, over 17 years, we built a relationship. And when I say that, with the community, understanding the importance of this neighborhood group, and then also seeing this group be such an important part of the revitalization of Peabody Square, which ultimately was a revitalization of the Greater Ashmont of the Greater Ashmont Main Street. So thank you, Vicky, for everything you've done as Volunteer of the Year.
I have a picture of me giving you a certificate. Remember?
When I was leaving.
At Roseanne.
And I want anyone from the board, if Greater Ashmont, come on up here.
Jack. Jack.
Jack's
Get a nice and close, everybody. Couple more. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Vicky. And last but not least, the Four Corners Main Streets. And if Nicole can come up. Four Corners Main Streets is another important main streets in our city. I remember when they went for their application, I wrote a letter of support as a state representative for them as well. And Nicole's done an incredible job of making sure that, no, I don't say breathing new life into it because it's always had new life, but breathing a new sense of energy into Four Corners. So I want to thank you for that. And I also want to, we're going to recognize the Business of the Year Award, the Caribbean Art Gallery. Is John here? Get over there, John. John's probably displaying that American and Haitian flag.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you, John. And we're gonna take a picture in a minute. And the Volunteer of the Award, Larry Thornton. Where's Larry? Go over here. Larry wears many hats in the neighborhood. He cleans the neighborhood, helps coordinate community events. He has a big role in the United Neighborhood Association, so he's active in his community. He rallies the community to peace walks with local police. He grows fresh and healthy food in many gardens and gives it to those in need. And he also is a proud member of Labor's Local 223, of which I was part of. And I remember watching Larry as one of the older guys when I came into the local union that would hang with my father and my uncle. And they're the guys, these guys built what we see in Boston, the labor movement, in a lot of ways. And I want to thank Larry for his friendship over the years. And congratulations on the Volunteer Recognition of the Year, my friend. All right. Any Four Corners board members over here, right?
Actually, they're probably second factor. But
Okay. Let's get a photo here. Here, Larry.
They want to get in, so don't take it in.
Yeah, get in front of you guys.
Okay, I want to make sure I can see everybody back there. Yeah, good. Okay, here we go. Ready? This way. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I just want to, a couple more thank yous. I want to thank City Councilor Frank Baker. I saw him walking around here somewhere. There he is, Councilor. I don't know if you want to come on up and say a couple words about businesses. If you want to, feel free. All right, I'll say it for Frank. On behalf of Frank and myself, you know, thank you for the businesses. I mean, Frank, if you'll often hear Frank talk about it's our turn, it's Dorchester's turn for revitalization, and I think we're seeing a lot of this right now in the neighborhood, but that's really due to a lot of the great work a lot of you businesses have done. So I want to thank the businesses, I want to thank the community, I want to thank the office of C11, Captain Conley and the office of C11 for their great work. Thank you, Captain, for what you do. And enjoy the day. I think there's some cupcakes inside there, and there was some ice cream down there, so enjoy the cupcakes. There's hors d'oeuvres inside too, so don't go anywhere until you go inside here. Thank you very much.